If you're one of my over 50 friends out there, I think you're really going to enjoy this makeup tutorial. I have a mixture of some new products and also a few of my favorites. And there was a couple products sent in PR as well, but I'm super excited to show you that. So if you're curious what products I used today to create this look, let's get into it. So the first product we're going to apply today is the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm in the shade Vanilla Toffee. Let me know if you guys have been able to get your hands on this. I think it was restocked at some of the drugstores here in Canada, but this is so good. I always have to apply some sort of product to my lips before I start my makeup application. It does come in several different shades, but it really does feel really buttery on the lips. Off camera, I did apply all my skincare products, but the final step in my skincare application is sunscreen. So the one I want to show you today is by Versed. It's the Good Defense Daily Sunscreen SPF 50. And if you're not familiar with Versed, it is, I guess you could call it the sister company for Merit. It's by the same founder of the Merit brand, but these products are a little bit more affordable. You can actually find these in the drugstore, and that includes Canada. One of the drugstores here in Canada sells Versed, and I believe in the States it is in Ulta. So I will put it as a drugstore product. So it just comes as a squeezy tube. So the recommended amount is usually about half a teaspoon. I'm going to get started with this amount here. So this is a cream to gel sunscreen. What I've been really enjoying about it is there is no white cast at all. It leaves the skin really glowy. Well, you can see how glowy that is right now. Extremely moisturizing. It's great for all skin types. Make sure to get your neck as well. And if you do have extra on your hands, I always say to put it on the back of your hand, because next to your eyes, your hands are the second spot that gives away your age. With all of my sunscreens, I usually give it about 10 minutes to let it absorb into the skin before I start applying my other products. This uses rich butters, amino acids, and ceramides that are naturally found in our skin. And it is especially great for dry skin, although it's really good for all skin types, but it's especially good for dry skin. And I also forgot to mention it is fragrance free. So the next product is a replacement product that I haven't used in a really long time. It's the Colorstay Micro Brow Pencil. This is in the shade medium brown. And I'm always trying to find different eyebrow pencils. And I was just going around the drugstore the other day and I thought, oh yeah, you know what? I haven't used the Revlon brand in a long time for my eyebrows. And it was also on sale. So that's always a bonus. So with my eyebrows, I always make sure to use the spoolie and just brush them through first. When I used this one in the past, I did enjoy it because it is really precise, gives hair-like strokes, very little effort. And then I go back in with the spoolie. And it's one of the things I can't do without leaving the house. I always have to make sure my eyebrows are done. And then for color corrector today, we're going to use the NYX, the Pro Fix Stick. I have it in the shade Dark Peach. And I find this one in particular really helps neutralize that purple under my eyes. I really like this one because it just melts into the skin. I do give it a couple of seconds to warm up. And then I usually just use my finger to blend it in. I think this is a really good one for mature skin just because it is so creamy. See how it's just taken away a little bit of that darkness, and then once I get concealer on, it'll look just seamless. All right, so the sunscreen has had time now to absorb into the skin. I was also going to mention about this sunscreen, if it's something that I can't link here for Canada, then I will try and put a comparable product if I can. I know the one drugstore doesn't carry the whole line of Versed, but I'll try and link what I can. So the next product we're applying is primer. So it's the one by Revlon, and I think this is a newer one. It's called Illuminance Color, Correct, and Brighten. It comes in the orange one, and I think there was one or two other types. So this has lemon extract and vitamin C. Does come as a pump. Has a little bit of an orange tinge to it. It almost reminds me of the Milani one that I have. But again, it does give that brightening effect, smooths out my skin. It does smell citrusy. So we are just going to look really, really glowy today. Glowy and dewy, that is the look of the day. I like how it smooths out my lines, especially the ones around my mouth. Then I just give it a little bit of a tap. And it is one of those products that is supposed to help improve your skin over time. It does give a little bit of tackiness. And one thing I recommend is just letting it dry just a little bit before you start applying whatever other skin products you want, like your foundation or skin tints. So the next product I'm going to show you is not a drugstore product. It was sent in PR, but I'm very excited to share it with you. And it is an eyeshadow palette. It's by Alter Ego, and it's their new one out called Amberglow. It retails for $24 US. And then when I went onto the website, it formulated the Canadian price for me. So for Canadian viewers, it says it's $34. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I absolutely adore Alter Ego. They have some amazing eyeshadow palettes. And what is unique about their brand is they usually create eyeshadow palettes that are very comparable to high-end palettes. So with Alter Ego, you get usually 15 shades in the palette. It always comes with a mirror. So one of the first things that I do is I always apply a little bit of eyelid primer. So this is the one by Alter Ego. It's one of my go-tos. Very creamy. Really helps the eyeshadow last longer throughout the day. It doesn't crease. And again, super affordable. See how it just takes away all the discoloration on the eyelids. I have like little red veins and stuff, and it just takes that away. So the first shade I'm going to use today as my transition shade is called Sun Drop. And it's this one right here. It's quite pretty. It's like a peach shade. Just going to take my Angie Hot and Flashy, the A503. This is just a fluffy eyeshadow brush, but it does a nice job of getting all the shade all over my lid. I've never had any issues with the Alter Ego palettes. Blend in really easily. I don't have to put a lot of like effort or work into applying the shade. They're not patchy and very like a buttery type of formula. Next, I'm going to apply this shade right here. It's called Umber, and it's like a chocolate brown. And then I'm just going to use my BK Beauty, the 211 brush. It's a little bit more precise, and I like using this one right in the corner of my eye. And I take it right above my crease. I try not to put eyeshadow right in my crease because it's just going to get hidden. Because I do have a little bit of a hooded, like I'm developing a hooded eye. So always look straight into the mirror and apply it right above the crease. And then I want to use just a few more shades. I was trying to create a really neutral look. So then I'm going to go and apply, this shade right here is called Velvet. And this is like a dark peach. And I'm just going to use a fluffy brush, which is my BK Beauty 201 brush. And this I want to apply right on my eyelid. And I am doing my eyes first today. Sometimes I mix it up. Sometimes I will do my foundation first and concealer. And then other times I'll do my eyes first and then put all my face products on. Just really depends on what I am feeling for the day. There, I'm really liking how this is turning out. And then let's apply, this is a shimmer shade and it's called Rich. It's that one right there. When it comes to products like this, I will usually apply it with my finger. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit right on the center of my lid. Just gives a little bit of extra something on the lid. And I think it's quite okay on mature skin to apply a little bit of shimmer or sparkle on the eyelid. I think it really just makes the eyes pop. Now, I did just swatch, these are just the ones that I used on my eyes today. So the one at the top there, that one is the Sun Drop. It's a little bit harder to see, but like I said, it's a really light peachy color. Then I applied Umber, then I applied Velvet, and then the last one was Rich. Those are the 4 shades on my eyes. I think it turned out really pretty. All right, so I'm going to stop at the eyes now and we'll complete the face process. So I just wanted something light on my face today. So we're going to apply the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. This is one of my favorites. It does have vitamin C in it. It has a dropper applicator. I find this one doesn't get as messy as my L'Oreal Skin Tint one. Not sure why. They both come as this dropper. I have it in the shade 118. So it's a little bit on the runnier side, but it is a light to medium buildable coverage. I'm just going to apply it with my rougher sponge. And what I'll do is just apply it on the one side of my face so I can show you the coverage. This is very skin-like, and I do like that. It's not a heavy product at all. I always blend everything down my neck so everything is very seamless. I think this is a nice one for mature skin. It comes in 18 shades. It lasts throughout the day. Like, I find it doesn't do any fading and just gives my skin a real natural, radiant finish. So this is the side that's done. But can you see how it's evened out my skin tone, gives me a beautiful, healthy glow to the skin. This is suitable for all skin types, even sensitive skin. But I always recommend just doing a little bit of a patch test on your skin before you apply it if you're not familiar with the product. Some people have sensitivities to certain ingredients. This one, like I mentioned, does have vitamin C in it. So I always just recommend just doing a little bit of a test to see how it's going to look on your skin. But I like how it's evened out my skin tone, but my natural skin is still poking through. So I'm just going to quickly go and finish doing the other side now. The concealer I'm using today is NYX, the Bare With Me Concealer Serum Concealer. I do have this one in the shade Beige, and recently it was on sale, so I picked up another one because I'm just about out of this one. So the only, I guess, con to this concealer is it comes as a pump, whereas most concealers, I do prefer more of a wand applicator. But the formula is amazing, so I kind of look past the applicator method. So it is quite a thicker formula, not runny at all. And what I do is take my concealer brush. The one I'm using today is the Real Techniques one, the Kitten Paw. Just a little bit on the back of from the back of my hand. And gently tapping it in. This one leaves my under eye area super hydrated. It never looks cakey. It is one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore. Seldom creases on me and lasts throughout the day. Like, it looks as good as when I've applied it in the morning compared to when I'm removing it at night. It just looks amazing. And this is one of the other reasons that I do my eyeshadow before I do my concealer and that sort of thing, because what I can do is clean up all of that eyeshadow that may have come down past I have like a guide that I don't like my eyeshadow coming past this line right here, which is like the base of my eyebrow hairs. And so I just clean that up ever so slightly. I've really been enjoying this brush. Super soft. It just makes the concealer look flawless. And then just to ensure that everything looks seamless, I take my sponge and I just dab the concealer and the foundation together. And then for under my eyes, I'm going to use the BK Beauty 210. This is a pencil brush. I'm going to take a couple of the shades that I used on the top of my lid. I'm going to use that to run that underneath my lower lash line. So I just mix those two together, tap it off, and then that way everything looks the same. And you can certainly skip this step if you are someone that doesn't usually apply anything under your eye. By all means, just skip ahead to the next part. So next I'm just going to quickly curl my lashes with the BK Beauty eyelash curler. This is such a good one. I'm so happy that she created this. Just curls the lashes but doesn't pinch the skin. I've had some eyelash curlers that just kind of get too close and pinch. The mascara I'm applying today is by Covergirl. It's the Eye Enhancer. And it's the shade that I really, really like because it gives some softness to the eyes. and it's dark chocolate. So the wand is quite lovely. Tons of little bristles on the wand. If you are someone that does not like a wetter formula mascara, you may not like this one. It is on the wetter side, but it really gives volume to the lashes. Oh, and I just did that on the top there. I'll show you how to clean it up later. I let it dry first, and then it's really easy to remove. But my lashes look really thick with this mascara. So this is just the one side done. So really great volume and lengthening. And then what I do to remove that little mistake that I made with the mascara is I take the end of my spoolie from my eyebrow pencil, or you can use a Q-tip as well, and just gently flick it off. And then what I'll do is take my eyeshadow brush that I used and just fill that back in. There, you can't even see that I made a mistake. And then a really wonderful cream bronzer that I love from the drugstore is the one by Milani. This is the Cheek Kiss, but it's the shade Hey Honey. Such a cute, I love the name. I just love the name for the shade. So that's up there. I think cream products are awesome for mature skin. I'm just going to go in with my BK Beauty 106 brush. This is technically a foundation brush, but I do like to apply cream products. It makes quick work of applying the bronzer or blush, whatever I'm applying. This is very creamy, absorbs into the skin. I like it because it's never going to look cakey at all. And it has such a beautiful glow. I love the NYX Buttermelt blush so much that I went and picked up another shade. This is Getting Butta. Getting Butta. So this is a shimmering rose, whereas the other shade I have is more of a coral shade. Oh, that's so pretty. I haven't used this one yet, so I'm super excited to give it a try. And for applying blush, I love my Rougher 37 brush. It's so fluffy and soft. Now, a caution with this blush, you don't need very much of it at all. I'm basically going to dab my brush in it and look at how much it picked up. So I very, very lightly start applying. Look at that. Like I've barely applied anything to my face, and it's just gorgeous. That is a pretty shade. Oh my goodness. Now it is going to adhere more to my face because I have that cream bronzer on. But I think this is such a perfect product for mature skin. I'm going to tone this down a bit. Don't worry. I know it looks really bright right now. I'll show you how to fix that to make sure it's not so much. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. But it is such a buttery formula. And that's why I think it looks so pretty on mature skin. I just take my sponge and dab on top of the blush. And it'll just tone it down a bit. You see how it's already taking away some of that shade. Just a little trick for you if you ever do that. You can see how much it's toned it down from this side to that side. It's actually a combination of both things. The blush and this brush are amazing. Super, super pigmented. This product definitely gets a big wow. Like, I am shocked of how little you have to apply to give your face some color. Like, holy smokes, that is amazing. So I recently picked up a new lip liner, and I haven't tried any lip liners by e.l.f. yet. So this is my first time. This is the Cream Glide lip liner. I have it in the shade Truth or Bare. So it looked like a perfect nude shade. So it is the type of pencil that you do need to sharpen. So it is more of like a pinky neutral shade. But it is gliding on. I always fill in my whole entire lip. If you know my makeup tutorials, you know that I always do that. I think it just helps lipstick stay on longer. And as the lipstick fades throughout the day, it'll be very gradual. I usually don't get a lot, like a stark line where you can see now the lipstick's wearing off. That's very nice. I'm glad I got that. And this was super affordable. I can't remember the exact price, but I think it was like under $5. So I do want to show you this product. It is not Drugstore. It is the one product I will say that is not technically at all Drugstore. It is Sephora, but it is a new launch by Rare Beauty. So I'm going to say it's affordable. I find the Rare Beauty brand is more affordable than other brands at Sephora. But it was a new lip gloss. So this is the Positive Light Luminizing Lip Gloss, and I have it in the shade Glimmer. Now what makes these ones very beautiful, it has a little bit of sparkle to it. So all I'm going to do is leave the lip liner on and just apply this. I'm not going to apply lipstick today. But I have been using this one behind the scenes. I just picked it up this week and I've been using it every day. But very comfortable on the lip. It's not a sticky gloss at all, but leaves just this unbelievable shine. And hopefully you can see it. It's like a light catching kind of shimmer on the lip, but very nourishing. My lips feel very, very hydrated. All right, so I just wanted to give you a close-up look of what everything looks like in natural light. I know some of you really appreciate that. You've made comments and let me know that you like it when I can show you guys in natural light, because the studio lights do give a different look. So I love how everything turned out. And let me know if you've tried any of these products. And I debated whether I was going to go in with a powder today. I think I'm just going to leave it. I like how the dewiness, glowiness is just coming through on my skin. I will have everything linked and listed down below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you're not already. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye.